Have you ever wondered what separates the traders who make it from the ones who vanish? It's not about being a genius or finding some hidden market secret. After 10 years and countless crashes, I've seen brilliant minds get wiped out in a single afternoon, while others, seemingly less gifted, quietly build fortunes. What's their secret? It's something far deeper and more personal than most people realize. It's not about winning. It's about surviving. You can score a 500% gain on one incredible trade. It's feeling like a king of the world. But if the very next one drains your account to zero, you haven't won anything. You've just lost the entire game. The true professionals, the ones who last for decades, aren't obsessed with being right, obsessed with staying in the game, because they know that is the only way to win in the long run. The market, you see, is not just a collection of charts and numbers. It's a mirror. It holds up a reflection of your deepest self and exposes every flaw you have. It reveals your greed when you hold a winning trade too long, your fear when you sell at the bottom of a panic, your impatience when you jump into a trade without a clear signal, and your ego when you refuse to admit you were wrong and cut a loss. Most people think they're trading stocks or crypto, but they're not. You don't trade the market. Teased your own emotions. Every click of the mouse is a battle against your own worst instincts. This is the brutal, hidden truth that separates the 95% who fail from the 5% who survive and eventually thrive. Like so many others, I started this journey with dreams of financial freedom. Picturing myself on a yacht, checking my portfolio with a satisfied smile. I devoured every book, every course, and every indicator I could find, searching for that one perfect strategy that would unlock the market's treasures. And for a fleeting moment, I thought I had found it. But within days, that dream turned into a nightmare. I watched in horror as my account plummeted by 80%. I was chasing every green candle, revenge trading after every loss, and making decisions based on pure emotion. I blamed the indicators, the market manipulators, the news everyone, but myself. But the problem wasn't the strategy. It wasn't the indicators. It was a catastrophic failure of discipline. The turning point came when I was at my lowest, ready to give up entirely. I confided in a mentor, a seasoned trader who had seen it all. I showed him my complex charts, my sophisticated indicators, and my detailed trade journal filled with disastrous results. He looked at it all, then looked at me and said something that shattered my entire worldview. The problem, I sent he, your tools. It's the hand that's holding them. In that single moment, everything clicked. I finally understood that trading success wasn't here about finding an external secret or a holy grail indicator. The battle wasn't on the screen. It was inside my own head. It was an internal game, not a technical one. From that day forward, my entire approach changed. I stopped chasing money, and paradoxically, I started keeping it. The frantic energy was replaced by a quiet calm. I took fewer trades, waiting patiently for the highest probability setups to come to me. I slashed my risk on every single position, understanding that protecting my capital was my primary job. I started meditating before each trading session to clear my mind of fear and greed. I developed a strict set of rules and swore to never break them, no matter how tempting a trade looked. I even began keeping an emotional journal, documenting how I felt before, during, and after each trade. The less I tried to win, the more consistent my results became. The profits were no longer explosive, but they were steady, and more importantly, they were real. This led me to understand the great paradox of trading. It's a concept that defies conventional logic, but is the absolute foundation of long-term success. Those who are obsessed with profits, who chase every dollar and dream of getting rich quick, are the ones who consistently lose. Their greed makes them reckless, their impatience makes them sloppy, and their ego prevents them from learning from their mistakes. They burn out, blow up their accounts, and fade away. On the other hand, those who are obsessed with survival, prioritize risk management above all else are the ones who ultimately win. They focus on protecting their capital, knowing that as long as they have chips, they can stay at the table and wait for the good hands to be dealt. Their discipline allows them to compound their small, consistent gains over time, turning survival into a form of victory. Over the years, I've distilled this philosophy into what I call the 7 rules of survivors. First, and most importantly, protect your capital at all costs. You cannot make a profit if you have no capital left to trade with. This is your lifeblood. Second, understand that every trade is just a probability game. There are no certainties. Don't fall in love with your trade or your analysis. Fall in love with your system and your discipline. Third, track everything. Keep a detailed journal of your trades, your emotions, and your mistakes. What you don't measure, you can never improve. Fourth, consistency beats brilliance. The market doesn't reward the person with the highest IQ. It rewards the person with the most unwavering discipline. A simple strategy executed flawlessly is infinitely better than a brilliant strategy executed poorly. Fifth, losing isn't failure, losing control is. A small, planned loss is just a business expense. An unplanned, emotional loss that blows up your account is the only true failure. Sixth, the more you crave money, the faster you will lose it. Detach your self-worth from your P&L. Focus on the process, not the outcome. And finally, seventh, trade less and wait more. Most of the time, the best trade is no trade at all. Patience is not just a virtue in trading. It's the ultimate edge. When you internalize these rules, trading transforms from a frantic, stressful gamble into something more profound. It becomes a form of meditation under chaos. You watch the market explode up or crash down, yet you remain centered and calm, waiting for your specific setup. Professionals don't revenge trade after a loss. They don't FOMO into a pump. Okay? They never, ever trade when they are angry, scared, or euphoric. Okay? They understand that their first and most important job is to master themselves. Only after they have achieved self-mastery can they even begin to attempt to master the market. The chart is just a canvas. Your mind is the artist. Ultimately, winning in this game isn't about hitting one spectacular home run. It's about surviving long enough to learn from your thousands of inevitable mistakes. The traders who are still standing after a decade aren't the luckiest or the smartest. They are the calmest. They are the ones who didn't get wiped out during the brutal downturns because their discipline and risk management acted as a shield. While others were panicking and liquidating their life savings, they were calmly executing their plan, preserving their capital, and preparing to capitalize on the fear of others. They outlasted the storm. So forget about trying to predict the market's every move. It's an impossible and foolish goal. Your true objective is much simpler, yet infinitely harder. It's to outlast the market itself. The last ones standing in this arena are rarely the geniuses who can call every top and bottom. They are the disciplined, the patient, and the self-aware. They are the survivors. Don't try to win every trade. Learn to lose small, stay calm, and last long. Because in the end, the market doesn't choose the smartest, it chooses the ones who survive.